evening, ladies, lords, lasses, and all those in between. It is I, your humble game master, the deathly Shad, here today to bring you some more Rains of Vitrium content with my lovely, lovely co-hosts. In the form of Agathar, say hi to the people.
Hello.
Morrigan. Oh no, you're not here. Rensois, say hi to the people.
Okay.
Hello.
Soren, say hi to the people.
Don't bother me. I'm busy training.
Yes, the old shh, I'm meditating. Vani, say hi to the people.
Fuck your meditation.
No.
All right.
And Morrigan, say hi to the people, because you're also
Hello.
here tangentially.
I am here in spirit. A
Yay.
very heavy, angry spirit that everyone is upset about.
In Spirit Halloween, yes.
Yo.
What do you mean, everyone? Valen doesn't know what's going on, so he can't be mad.
He's tangentially mad.
He
He's
wouldn't be
just
mad if he knew.
He's consistently sullen.
He would be mad
Those-
if he knew.
If
Well,
those
that's the
kids
secret.
could read, they would be very upset.
If that rabbit had feelings, you'd be upset.
At any rate, when last we left our adventurers, Agathar the Kobold Rogue, Morrigan the Halfling Divination Wizard, Rensois the Rabbit Folk Monk, Soren the Rabbit Folk Samurai, and Vani the Rabbit Folk Smith, the party is still in hot pursuit of Morrigan as she tries to make her way to a particular location in order to perform a ritual that will allow her to destroy all of Vuori. We'll just put it out there, probably just all of the whole country. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine, probably. Who knows? I certainly don't.
We've just gone over the targeted positions and be like, who cares? Those are the only important parts. All of it goes.
I mean, when you're targeting 3 major civilian centers of a whole country, it's kind of...
Yes.
More than that.
And, with that having been said, the party members have so far discovered her plot and have been joined by the B team, in the form of Eloise, Eloise, the halfling wizard, Cecil, the, kobold thing.
The kobold weirdo.
The maybe kobold.
The kobold enthusiast, we'll say.
The kobold stalker.
Riven, the tabaxi samurai. Neatal, love interest of Rensois, who knows, I don't. And ninja rogue extraordinaire. And lastly, Lana, a former childhood friend of Valen's, who is also a cleric. And the party have also been joined by, well, the man has called himself the linchpin to the Archmage of Illusions. But the players don't really know that. Don't really know if that's for real, because they have been joined by 3 travelers.
And no one trusts them.
What shenanigans will ensue? Who knows? I certainly don't. But let's find out today in the Rains of Vitrium. As another day passes by, and you guys are now 3 of your 7 days in to try and get to Vuori in time, via the cart that was left behind. So, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. What do you guys do?
I poke you. Do something.
You just pull out the big stick, jab him in the throat. Come on. Entertain us.
That's what I do. I cry.
No.
Stab it.
I'm really tired. I think I'm going to take a nap right now.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Alright, maybe I'll leave the call with Vani in it, and then we'll see what happens.
No discussions on what's going to happen. It's all just like, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Stream ends immediately.
I will take control, I guess.
Yeah, Soren's probably there. Like, I'm assuming it's like the start of a new day, right? Is this the start of a new?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So first thing Soren does is, of course, get breakfast, and then after that he goes down to train some more and try to get more of a hang of his linchpin abilities.
All right then. That is what you are doing. Who else is wanting to do stuff? I know Agathar is training right now.
Agatha's training. It's
Hey,
a little
Vani,
detail thing, but
you had things you wanted to do, didn't you?
I suppose.
Here, let me
Va-
poke you.
Yeah, poke me with the cattle prod, don't you?
Yeah.
Electrified cattle prod.
it's on full power.
I just fucking you hear Valen just go
Pointy stick.
as I just fucking shock him.
So Vani's currently just in the general area, just laying upside down on the sofa. Who's in the general area with her?
Well, aside from Eloise making tea, Amalia begging for food, Lana reading a book, Riven sitting on a nearby chair, kind of like relaxing, Cecil in the corner of the room, just staring, and Neotal's with Renswall right now.
Yeah, that's it. That's a lot of people in the main room. Francois doesn't want to be around that many people. Not right now.
Well, too bad. You have to deal with people.
That's fine.
Says you, the person who deals with no people.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Who else is in the main room? Well, Morrigan can't be in the main room. Francois's not in the main room.
I think
Agatha's
Bella's
already-
in the
waiting room.
I voted. Now that this happened,
Francois in the sad Banui corner, remember?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm in the bad baby corner.
Bellathar is probably watching Soren because Francois seems like she's, will get Bellathar if she needs her. So she's just kind of hanging with Soren, just watching.
You have to go
What?
find people.
Use them legs.
And you said Rensois is not in the common area?
Nope.
No.
Vani will flip off or slide off the sofa and get up and go hunt down someone. The first one that they see.
Okay. Where is Renswall right now?
I mean, her room.
Okay.
It's really the only place.
All right. Well, Vani, are you gonna knock on people's doors to rooms and stuff?
Yeah. Let's start with the rooms.
All right. Whose door do you want to knock on first?
I just go down the hall. Remember if we situated whose rooms are closest to the stairs or not.
Okay.
We're just going down the line of rooms until someone responds.
Okay then. I would say, Renswall, you hear a knock at your door.
She would look up. I imagine, after not actually sleeping. Neatal's probably passed out in her bed. So like Rensoir's on just like a floor cushion reading a book.
Neatal has trained herself for this. She did not fall asleep. But let me hold on. She had not fallen asleep. I'm
She did
rolling a
not
die.
fall asleep. However, she wishes she had.
Give me just a second.
She has not fallen asleep, much to her chagrin.
No, she
Pretty much.
she fell asleep.
Well, okay.
Like it's one of those things. It's one of those things of like she tried really hard not to fall asleep, and then just like
Windows
she's
shutdown
waking.
noise.
And she's just suddenly waking up, and it's 6 hours later.
yeah, pretty much. It's one of those sleeps.
But yeah, she'll, ears twitch at the knock, and she'll bookmark her book and set it down next to the floor pillow, and kind of wanders over to the door, cracks it open a bit, blinks, seeing Vani, considering they were possibly other than some of B team, like the last person on A team she was expecting to see. Oh, did you need something, Vani?
Yes. It's rather dull at the moment, so figured I'd just question the lot of you been traveling with my brother. So, come on. To the forge.
She just kind of looks back at Neatal, passed the fuck out, and was just like, doesn't want to wake her, so she'll give a kind of a slow nod before turning back towards Vani. Very well. Lead the way.
And they go off to the forge. As you enter the forge, it is clearly a mess. There is no organization. It's already been ransacked. Find a seat.
Just and she was just looking around motherfucker seat in all of this.
Vani will just climb up on a box and pull out some chalk.
She'll find I guess just another box, probably.
Alright. Simple
So-
questions, but requires you have a little bit of thinking. First, what are your own strengths and weaknesses in combat? I'm a smith, so instead of just lazing around, I guess I can plot together some useful items for people.
She'll kind of blink. Oh, I suppose I thought you were going to ask about your brother.
We'll get to that.
Well, I don't particularly use or need much in the way of armaments. I'm a martial artist and lightly a druidic spellcaster.
As you're talking, Vani is just jotting down shorthand notes.
Primarily, I simply fight with my fists. Some light assistance from magic when it's needed, as well as my mushroom spores. So she'll kind of, reach up, drag a paw through her ear. Vani sees like this kind of like pale yellow cloud kind of start peeling off from the ear before slowly drifting back in.
Don't know how I try to incorporate that. So, in, what do you think you're lacking in combat?
Lacking?
Some people think, majority of the time, it's just people believe it's their armor.
She kind of scratches at her cheek and looks down. Well, I kind of found myself in this situation as a fix to. I was previously trained exclusively, or nearly exclusively, in the druidic arts, but my master, your brother's master, for lack of my own personal understanding of the intricacies of the magic she used, essentially reached into my soul and changed me. I was I was actually barely taller than Agathar, actually, up until not too long ago. An adaptation of sorts to the change to my soul and physical prowess. Obviously, my magic has taken a hit, so I suppose that would probably be the biggest thing I would say that I lack, although realistically, it hasn't been too problematic, although, well, actually, she looks down for a second. No, actually, there would be one thing now that I think about it. The problem with fists is that as soon as you have anything that stays in the sky out of range, you become useless. Like, say, a ch-ldr-n warship. And I don't think it'll be the last time that we deal with those.
With how they are, from what I've heard, probably not.
No, they have a habit of making their presence everyone's problem.
Let's see. So, adaptation and range. Fist weapon. If you were to be offered a weapon, would you accept it? One that had multiple uses.
I mean, I'd certainly accept it. Would be rude to turn down a gift.
Right, so, wouldn't
How-
mind weapon.
I can. Limited usage of, weaponry alongside my martial arts.
I've made a few weapons for people of similar skill. It's amazing how many brass knuckles I've made. But I figured I'd try something different. You wouldn't mind an attuned weapon, would you?
I would need to rearrange some of my equipment, but it's certainly not impossible.
Alright. Do you have any preferred weapons or creator's choice?
Um, as as long as it leaves my hands relatively free, it's okay by me.
Alongside these notes, after that sentence, you just see her, Vani, draw a circle and question marks. Alright. Enough about you. Going down the list of the others in your party, what do you think their strengths and weaknesses are?
I
You see Vani just
sorry,
smile.
sorry, I'm just I figured you would show more interest in your brother than us.
Figured for you guys all taking care of him, that'd at least make you all something. Show my appreciation.
Yeah, well, your brother definitely didn't always make it easy to take care of him. That's certainly
Yeah, but when you're tortured for several years, they'll do that to you.
yeah, well, as much as I love Master Nell, I'm not sure her methods of inducing paranoia did him any favors either.
Suppose not.
As for the others, well, I mean, Soren, much like me, is well, if something gets into melee range, they don't tend to last much longer than that. Though, with his mastery of blades, he does have some amount of ranged capabilities. As well as a dagger he can throw that will come back to him.
A pair of daggers,
Extensive
technically.
range. Fair. Extensive range is beyond it. Like, again, a ch-ldr-n warship.
Yeah. I doubt I could make anything for Soren.
He
I have an idea for him.
he
There's
does
there's just a coming from downstairs.
he does have one sort of unique quirk. Do you work exclusively with armaments, or do you make scrolls as well?
Not per se. I can make things from trinkets, armor, weapons, bows. Scrolls, not that much.
Never mind then. They're not beyond his capacity to use, however. Should we stumble upon them in our travels. But otherwise, much in the same way, well, even to a greater degree than myself, beyond his ability to use scrolls, he has no inherent magical capabilities himself. Just an extensive mastery of the blade and some quite useful weapons.
Yeah, those weapons are. I don't think I'm gonna make him a weapon. I have an idea for him. Probably not gonna be happy once I start working on it, however. I'll get to that when I talk to him.
You'd have to convince his swords first and foremost.
Pretty sure that'll be the easy part. I think.
Yes, I don't.
And
Oh.
One of these days, the traveler's gonna find themselves on the wrong end of a crossbow.
Some of them already have.
Agatha. It's like Agathar. Well, he's. Well, he's nimble, agile, has quite a number of tricks up his sleeve, both with himself and with his constructs, his daughters. Honestly, I would say the biggest thing he struggles with is simply he has a habit of rushing forlong into the danger and being the first of us to go down. He plays things a bit faster and looser than I would like.
No thumb. Ow.
With these notes, you see her draw a large circle and small circle with more question marks.
You know, I think it's about at this point in time, Bonnie, you'd feel like you would see just a hand come around and poke your illustrations for Agathar. Soyfang would go, I could help.
Yeah, possibly. Don't know how much you know about arcane smithing, but resources, probably.
It's about time for his birthday anyway, probably. I don't know yet. I could get some
Yes, it is.
materials. What he requires is something similar to what I have. He gestures to the skin-tight suit that she has.
It's like, he needs something that I have, a sense of self-preservation.
Alma?
I've been getting better.
Not fast enough.
Do you know what this does?
Nope, not a clue.
Well, I suppose I could give a brief demonstration. And she'll kind of she'll look around the room, narrow her eye. Then you'll see her close them. And her forehead wiggles a little before she opens them back up again. Good. He's not.
Shit.
She will then proceed to wave her arm through the air, and you'll see that as it kind of flows through the air, the texture of both the material around her forearm seems to shift and change to be to perfectly blend in with the background before it goes back to being this strange dark leather looking stuff.
Hey, yo.
Not exactly what I was thinking. I could work with something like that.
Oh, that's just the base thing that it does. But I think that would be probably enough.
You know, besides me.
Anyway, that's all. You two can continue your conversation. Then she just kind of disappears.
Alright, so we got Soren. He's iffy with range, but has some ability. He's melee. Can use scrolls. Agathar is apparently a stealth wizard. Stealth necromancer? Alright.
That's a new one.
I know there's a few strength-based wizards in Styx, but that's a first. Since I can't really question my brother, what is his preferred fighting method?
What was your question?
Since I can't really question or talk to him at the moment, what is his preferred fighting method? And Rensois is be right back.
Well.
Ooh,
Get easier. Ooh, eh.
Hmm. Okay.
Alright. So that was not what I was expecting.
What were you not expecting?
Stoy
Huh?
Fang.
Soy Fang showing up to give you deets on her man?
She tends to do that.
She does.
I was thinking about one thing.
What were you thinking? Give me the details.
Since he likes to run into combat and is the first to go down, how does extra health sound?
Sounds
Hmm.
pretty sick to me.
Probably. Who knows? I don't.
It, in the
They'll
form
probably
of
find a way to burn all that at once too.
Shut up.
in the form of a once a day 9th level ish
Soy
armor of
Fang,
Agnes.
Soy Fang believes that his best chance is to not get hit in the first place.
Which is a fair.
Because here's
Fair,
the
fair.
thing. Here's the thing. If the only person they can see to target with a big spell attack is someone like Soren, or someone who can actually take a hit, and not him, then he won't get hit.
Fair.
Exactly.
Hey, welcome back. You back and settled in, Francois?
Yeah, no, sorry. I realized that my laundry had finished like almost 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Doing laundry during the stream? Cancer.
After Soy Fang leaves, Vani will just mutter to herself about stealth wizards being a first.
Here's the thing. Comically enough, you don't even see your door open.
She don't need no doors.
Look at her slither. No, watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Anyway, after jotting down a
Inhuman
few more
reflexes.
notes, Vani will look at Rensois. Since I can't really talk to my brother, what is his preferred fighting style? He said he is paranoid, so guessing he's not close combat. I hope.
That's funny. That's a funny thing.
I feel the best way to describe Valen's combat style would be I suppose the most apt word would probably be petulant. He refuses to die. He has, spells to prevent it, items to prevent it. He does not go down. Those around him do not go down.
Except Agathar.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, except for Agathar. Agathar's a special case.
I mean, Soren's gone down a few times, but
I have an
Agathar,
argument for it now.
Agathar
Agathar
gets
gets
clapped.
sneezed at.
He does.
In more ways than one.
Ayo.
Look, he's a cleric, not a miracle worker. I mean, he is, because cleric, but you know what I mean. There's an extent to the miracle work. Keeping Aggie up is not one of those.
He has gotta find me first.
So he's focused on preservation.
Essentially, yes. And, like many clerics, rather fond of spirit guardians.
What are your thoughts on my brother?
I think he is stubborn, hard-headed, It is. It's like pulling him. It's like pulling teeth, convincing him of anything. But he also cares. Cares a lot. He doesn't always, show it, not overtly. He shows it in his ways. It's not just the, clerical duties of making sure everyone gets out alive. Sometimes it's just he's blunt. If you get lost in your head, he's not elegant or smooth to get you out of that headspace. He's the type to march right up to you and tell you to get your shit together and do it ASAP. Definitely got that more than once.
Sounds like a handful.
Very much. He is at times infuriating. More than once I was tempted to just lay him out for some odd comment here or a barbed remark there. But it's also a case where he has that sharp tone, certainly, but ironically, it's primarily reserved for those he cares about. He'd rather stay quiet and analyze the situation from afar with those he doesn't know. In part paranoia, in part simply a smart tactic in an unsure situation, but for someone like Phelan who has been through what he's been through, the surest sign he can give to anyone that he cares is simply being true with them. He simply doesn't care whether that truth hurts or not. If it's the truth, that's what he's going to get. That's how he lets us know that he cares.
Sounds like, sounds like you care about him also.
Yeah, well, maybe not by blood, but he's still my brother. A dumbass, but he's my dumbass.
Yeah.
Vani. And she'll, the sort of, for a moment, this sort of malaise of, kind of wallowing depression that she's had, initially with the whole situation with Morrigan, but also, the kind of moroseness of talking about Valen. For a moment, the kind of almost like veiled look she's had over her eyes kind of lifts as you see kind of the spark of fire in her eyes as she looks to you. We will get him back.
I trust y'all. If not y'all, then I will. Hunting him down for several years now. But a lead's a lead.
Right.
And around this point in time, both of you would hear the rapid pitter-patter of feet outside the door before there's a rapid knocking. Hey, Francois! Are you in here?
You can go off and be with that one. Any idea where the other two would be at?
It's morning, yeah?
Around mid-afternoon.
Morning-ish. Yeah. Well, if you haven't tried the common areas, I don't believe Agathar is back yet. So then, with Soren, I would likely try his Zen garden.
And where is
Either-
that? Place is a mild headache to figure out at times.
Hammer spaces, am I right?
Yeah.
Also remind me, Soren, it's like, because I know you have one in your room, but you also have another one in the basement, don't you?
No, the basement is a training area that was provided by Morrigan.
It was
Has
made
always
into a
that-
Zen garden once, I think.
Yes.
Was it? I'm trying to
When we
Yes.
remember.
first got it, yeah, I think so.
No, he was taking sand out of there to make his Zen garden
Right.
because like the
Right,
training
right.
area, yeah, because the training area is like is covered in
A
sand
big sand pit.
as yeah.
Yeah.
So
It would be within his room. He'd likely either be meditating, maintaining the garden, or both, I suppose. Maintaining it as a form of meditation.
Guess I'll check the rooms again. And Vani will jump off the crate.
From outside the door, you hear a very pitiable. I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I hope you're not mad. 'Cause
No,
Oh, it's a relief. Okay. Then you hear
The door will open.
but before the door opens, you hear the sound of someone slumping onto the ground. You open the door, you see her just kind of like splayed out in the hallway.
sleep again.
No, she's not asleep again. She's trying to calm herself down.
Lived.
Gives a wave. Hey.
Vani will look at Rensois. She do that often.
Sorry. Woke up, saw you weren't there, panicked.
Vani needed to speak with me, and I didn't want to wake you up.
Got it.
You know, if you have a hard time sleeping, I could always try whacking you upside the head with a hammer.
Yeah, nah, won't be necessary. She then does a kip up, before standing and going, well, Renswa, you want me to, you want to go downstairs and get some food?
Sure, let's do that.
She snaps her fingers and gives you finger crossbows like, yeah, awesome. And the two of you make your way downstairs. Soren, you're next
Yeah.
up on Vani's docket, I would imagine, being you're in the training room and easy to locate. Vani, are you going to go locate him?
Yeah.
Then by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, Vani tries to get to his room first. She can knock, but there won't be an answer.
Yeah. She tries that and then just starts wandering the cart.
She could probably once she gets down to the common area. Like I keep forgetting, where's the training area? It's like down away from the common area, right?
The training area is literally the basement. The basement is just like a sand pit and a couple of like offshoots that have a lot of like the copper piping that like bring water and heat to the interior.
Well, yeah, but like the entrance to the training area is not in the common area, right?
No.
Yes, it is. The common area leads everywhere.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, Vani will probably hear the sound of like metal impacting whatever the training dummy's made of.
Wood.
What?
Yeah, that.
Soren! You down there?
Did she just call him Salrin?
Sauron.
Sauron.
What a thick accent she has.
Sauron.
Sauron, get your eyeless ass up here.
Sorry, work has been... I've been calling things weird
It's
names
all-
recently at work.
It's all
Like Sam, and I've been calling it Salamon.
Salamon.
Salaman
Right,
Adul.
it's Salamon.
Vani will call from halfway down the stairs. Soren, you down here?
He doesn't respond. Like the sound of like clanging metal against wood that continues to be heard.
Vani will go all the way down. And what
sorry,
does
go
she
ahead.
see? And what does she see?
Well, he is hacking away at this training dummy as hard as he can, basically pushing himself until he jumps back a little bit and then stomps his foot into the ground again. Like enters another stance, like raises his foot and then stomps it into the ground and
Wisdom check.
attempts to make that wisdom check. Boop, boop. Wisdom. Boop. 12.
Wisdom.
12. I'll say both you and Vani see the sand ripple outwards and then shift upwards, but not much else.
Does it stay upwards or does it collapse back down?
It ripples, implying that it does a little wave motion, so it goes back down.
So he kind of just like takes a breath and sighs just frustratedly before he tries again and lifts his foot up and stomps again.
Another wisdom check.
Wow. Okay. But hey, that's a token.
It is a luck token. You see that there is no discernible effect. If anything, you feel exhausted. You feel as if maybe you exerted all of your reserves for the day.
And you just kind of hear him go, "God damn it."
What do you think you are, a druid?
This catches his attention as his head turns around and looks at Vani, and he's breathing heavily. And he goes, "No, just trying to get the hang of something I acquired. Still not quite getting the hang of it."
Well, seems like it's druidism. It's druidcraft in some sort.
No, it ain't. It's something else. But what brings you down here?
Just gonna ask you a few questions. Get up to the forge.
He kind of like narrows his eyes and goes, "Why?"
Just do it. Don't make me drag you up there.
I'll say, Bellathor is also down there just watching, and does Vani know of what Agthor is doing? I don't think she was told.
Nope.
I think only Renswa, Neatal. I think Soren's figured it out, but
Yeah.
well, Soren knows for sure. But
Vani
Vani
essentially doesn't know what's going on. She
very
doesn't know
fair.
anything about any
Yep,
archmages, linchpins.
She's
She just knows that.
she's currently in the nobody ever tells me nothing type moment right now.
because she don't say shit.
Yep. All she
But
knows is that something weird's going on, but apparently no one wants to tell her anything, so she ain't gonna ask questions yet.
Yeah, so he's still kind of like breathing heavily, and he goes, "I suppose I could do with a break for the time being, sure." And he begins to walk towards the stairs.
Bellathor will help you up and out of it, and she'll follow.
He says, he looks back to her and just smiles and says, "Thanks." And we'll go up the stairs with Vani, but he'll stop by like the kitchen area and grab like a glass of water.
Oh.
Roll for radiation poisoning. One last slap from Morgan.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There actually is something.
Eh.
It'll take me a couple seconds to actually do the thing. Whenever it's done, I'll need the passive perceptions of both Bellathar, Vani, and Soren.
Well,
That's a 20 from Vani.
18 from Bellathor.
Passive, not rolled.
Oh, passive 16 for Bellathor.
17 for Soren.
Thank you. Okay.
I sense Cecil shenanigans.
I
Yep.
know what you're talking about.
The Cecil is strong with Shad.
Cecil's just currently vibing in the corner, man. You guys go in, grab a little bit of food, and then you make your way back up to the forge. Nothing happens.
Dad, we don't believe you.
I mean, you can choose not to believe me all you want.
I'm being a dick. Anyways, yeah, Soren, once he has his glass of water, he'll follow Vani up to the forge.
Once they get to the door, Vani will let Soren in. Soren and Bellathar will see the same thing, but Vani will stop Bellathar. I'll get to you after Soren.
Oh. Okay. It has to be private.
Yeah. Prefer doing things like this in private. Commission work, you know how that work. You should, I think. I don't know what you do.
Bellathor kind of glances at Soren, kind of like with the expression of like, "Are you good with this?"
He's going to just kind of like look at Bellathar and just go, "I think I'll be all right, Muffin."
And then she'll nod and then take a step away from the door. All right, I'll just hang out here then.
I'll be back, I promise.
You better.
And the door closes. Oh, find a seat. Just to say again to the audience, it is a disaster. Someone ransacked the place. Only place that's clear is the forge and the anvil.
I'm assuming there are seats around. Just he has to wade through stuff to get to it.
I'm sure
Possibly.
it's not a fire hazard.
Yet. So he's gonna struggle to find a seat and then sit down.
Vani climbs up onto a box, looks over at another one, grabs a piece of chalk. Alright. Similar questions to what I asked Francois, so relatively painless. What do you say your own strengths and weaknesses are in combat?
His eyebrows go up at this question, and he just kind of smirks and says, "Is this an interrogation? Is it?"
Yeah, possibly.
You hear furious
Well-
scribbling.
Well, my greatest strengths and weaknesses. He tilts his head and begins rubbing his chin, and he goes, I've never really self-analyzed like this before. I just do what feels right at the moment. But if I had to say anything, I'm good with the blades. I'm strong, I'm agile. I ain't the smartest one of this group. But I do find myself being particularly capable of figuring things out, as it were. Are those the answers you're looking for?
It works. Other than mercenary work, I enjoy smithing. Became proficient enough. Learned the smithing skills from ones that created one of your two swords there, so I doubt I'm gonna be able to make anything to replace that. So,
I don't think anybody can make anything that'll replace these blades.
yeah. And I doubt you need any armor.
Oh
can
no, I'm
practically-
fine in the armor.
You can practically feel both Biggie and Hidari just kind of glowering at the implication that they could be replaced.
So, how do you feel if I make an item? Would you consider an attunement item?
He looks down at this question and goes, I don't really think so. I've pretty much spread all of that capability around what I've got, and what I have is pretty solid at the moment. I mean, unless you could make something better than the cloak or this ring, and he holds up his right hand with the ring on it, and he goes, but I don't think I could replace this ring or these blades.
If you
Ever.
would like, Vani, you could roll a Smith's Tools check.
Let's see.
At advantage because of your background.
And attributes would be intel.
Yes.
forgot to switch thing. But that is a 22.
Hey, Soren, what magic items are you wearing?
He's wearing the cloak of displacement, the Archmage's ring, and he has Migi and Hidari.
Yes. That ring on his finger is something wholly unique that you have never seen before. However, what you can tell is that it is legendary tier.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to create anything.
Like, Homeboy is decked out with three legendaries practically.
One of those being an artifact.
Three of them being artifacts.
Oh, all three of them are artifacts. The paired blades, the cloak, and the ring.
No, the paired blades are 2. The ring is 1, so it's 3 altogether.
Yeah, but the 2 blades both count as one attunement item, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that.
But yeah, no, he's basically walking around with 2 artifact grade items.
Well, I'm guessing you're the one that's all the coin went to gear up.
I think it'd be better if you concentrated on everyone else if you want to do that for us.
You see, Vani write down a few notes. Possibly. Alright, so no attunement. Once a day probably I could do that. How would you feel about a magic item that's with my help you can interchange with those 2 blades there? As Vani points to Migi and Hidari.
Okay, so just to clarify, Vani is asking Soren if he wants to replace the 2 blades with something.
No, a design choice.
A design choice.
It'll be if I can figure out the logistics above game, if Shad approves.
So when it comes to his weapons specifically, they cannot be altered or changed. They are stuck the way they are.
It's more of the sheath and scabbard.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that's the design choice.
Yeah, that's fine. You can adjust their scabbards however you want. Are the girls willing to let their scabbards be redesigned? Like, you haven't said if that's what you're doing or not.
Yeah. But yeah, Soren will be like, what way do you mean?
You heard of Bejeweled?
Is that the equivalent of going to a clothing store?
No, the Bedazzler. That's what it was called.
Yeah, the Bedazzler.
That
Remind
thing
me
from
again.
the 90s.
Migi and Hidari, one of them is shorter than the other, correct?
No, they're the same length.
Yeah, they're the same length.
They are twin blades.
But what about in their realm space? Who's the taller one?
They're twins.
Twins can be different height.
They are.
Yeah, but which one's taller?
It's for research purposes. Which one's taller?
Yeah, no, but yeah, Soren asks, in what way do you mean?
Have you ever heard of a set of two swords called butterfly swords?
Has Soren heard of butterfly sword?
History check.
So probably not.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh, 15.
15.
Ooh, 15 though.
I'd say you've heard of butterfly swords. You have a vague idea of what they are.
Run them by me out of or above game. Okay.
Two swords that fit in the same sheath that look like one
Hmm.
when they're sheathed together.
He goes, I've heard about them. Aye, what do you mean? Why? Why do you ask?
What do you think you and them would be acceptable to that kind of element? Well, once a day non-attunement item, if I get the logistics to work.
The two shake their head. Like, I love my sister, but I don't want to be, like, rubbed up against her, you know what I mean? Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
He
With this writing material.
not of us, man.
Look, look, man, just because Soren's a weeb doesn't mean we're into that weird shit.
Y'all are fucking weird.
Migi slowly puts away the extra material.
Wait, we have to be careful. Miggy will draw us pregnant.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Hidari will draw us pregnant. Miggy
is
will write us
art.
being pregnant.
It is
Ma-
art!
Mods, draw them pregnant.
Yeah, Hidari will draw it. Miki will write how it came about.
Exactly.
I mean, Migi can
With
attempt to draw,
references.
but it's not very good.
Yeah, Soren goes, well, the twins don't seem to approve of this change, and since I'm not really, I ain't really against how the sheaths work right now, I have to go with them. Of course, even if I did want a different sheath, if they didn't, then I'd go with them still.
Understandable.
Migi then
If one of them,
Migi then chimes in. Although, if she could like make my scabbard look like super pretty, that'd be like awesome, you know. Hidari just kind of
Assholes
you
ago.
can feel Hidari rolling her eyes. I'm just whatever, man, but like, why do you want jewels on yours? Because I want to be pretty. I can't accessorize. I can only accessorize the one part of me that there is. And I want jewels. Pink ones. And blues.
well, I guess we know which one was the spoiled one.
The Soren just kind of like offhanded, like probably says this aloud. He says, girls, you're both gorgeous."
Roll charisma. At advantage.
And roll wisdom saving throw as they scream.
Oh, come on.
Charisma at advantage, 19.
Hey,
That's a charisma save. I'm sorry.
No,
Oh, yeah, it would be 19.
Yeah, you're not proficient. It's fine. And even if you are, just deduct your proficiency bonus. The both of them are like, "Aww, how sweet of you." You then hear intense scribbling.
Like he sounds like he's just kind of offhanded saying it to like keep them quiet, but he does genuinely mean it.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, "No, I think these sheaves are gonna stay the way they are because that's how they want them."
Alright, I can figure out something.
Well, I do appreciate your efforts, but like I said, Vani, I'm kind of set, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I think I'd make that work instead. Anyway. What do you think the strengths and weaknesses are of the other members of your party, Renswall and Agathar?
He begins to smirk at this and goes, "Oh, so this is an interrogation."
As I said, possibly.
Well, let's see. Agathar and Renswa. Well, Rensois has had different strengths in the past. She has been altered, much like I have, but in different ways. She used to be stronger in druidic arts. Now she's very good at punching things, I've noticed. She's frightfully good at punching things. As for her weaknesses, I haven't. She doesn't display them too often right now, so I haven't. I don't really have. I don't really know what her weaknesses are. She doesn't, like I said, she doesn't display them very often. I don't think she's as strong as me physically, but she more than makes up for it with her dexterity. As far as Aggie is small, mostly undetectable, um, difficult to spot, um, very quick, very nimble, and a dangerously good shot with that gun of his. His weakness, he... Now, I know that he underwent a similar change, another change similar to Rensois, but I don't know exactly how it's played out. Uh, I haven't seen him much in combat since it happened. In fact, I haven't seen him in combat at all since it happened. He did put on a display that showed that he is more skilled in melee combat now than he used to be. But beforehand, he was distressingly fragile. He would, and despite that, bless his heart, he would run forward and engage enemies with almost reckless abandon to try to help us. Silly boy didn't realize that we were also there to back him up. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. If there's any weaknesses that Aggie has, he can make up with with just his heart. He's very strong emotionally and spiritually.
Agathar in the background, smiling as his soul's in, what is it now, 18 different pieces?
Hey, it's strong. It's strong.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Who hasn't had their soul divided a couple times?
Exactly. It's normal.
I mean, I've had it removed several times from my body, but that's that's a Tuesday now.
Alright, so Francois, more physical, and doesn't really display anything.
Not that I've seen. In combat, I don't know what her weaknesses are. Like I said, she doesn't play into them at all.
And then Agathar is stealth wizard.
I don't know. He's a lot more stealthy than he used to be, and he already was. He already was very stealthy.
He charges into reckless abandon with how fragile he is.
In spite of that.
Okay. And what about my brother?
Valen.
He's a
What
right
do I
ass,
say?
you know.
It's right, Boston.
He
What do I
may
say
but he's a
about
right bastard sometimes.
just a little bit? So he just kind of like folds his arms and just like looks down, his ears going back in thought, and he's just, what can I say about Valen? As for him, he has generally being the one who's kept us alive for most of our fights. He's very good at that. Um, he doesn't seem to be very strong himself, at least not as strong as I am. But his worth on the battlefield has been keeping us alive. He is also a very skilled offensive spellcaster, from what I've seen, and he has helped us to take down even some of the toughest opponents. As far as weaknesses, that man will not listen to reason sometimes. He is hard-headed. He is difficult to work with sometimes. He's difficult to speak to. And I think, aside from Morrigan, he's been the only one in this entire group that I've ever argued with. And I honestly weep for Lana.
What happened there?
Well, I don't know how much he wants me to tell you, but they were
He's
close.
not here right now.
They were close. I ain't gonna say how close, but
As we all were when we were young.
This is where we discover that Vani's a big gossip.
and he says, "Well,
Fuck yeah.
well, they were close enough for her to actively give up a memory, actively take it out of her own mind, a very precious memory to her, and give it to him in the hopes that it would jostle something. And Bastard rejected it, honestly. He just... Of course, this... I keep forgetting that things are different now. That might not have happened anymore, if that makes any sense. It's... I suppose I should just keep quiet about that, but... That was one of the first times he actually made me angry. He brought me living in the past up at that point, and I had to correct him, and he still didn't listen to me. He's very stubborn, very hard-headed, and doesn't listen to reason.
Figure that she liked him in some capacity. Looks like she owes me 5 gold. Or was it silver?
What did she owe you? What did she owe you 5 gold for?
Long outstanding debt. Hey,
No.
you liked my brother? No. 5 gold says yes. 5 gold, silver, whatever's on the table at that time.
Electrum.
No. Electrum
Yes.
doesn't exist here.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
it does-
ch-ldr-n uses it.
Ch-ldr-n uses Electrum.
Okay, I will accept that.
We use the better form of that, Mega Electrum.
Mega Electrum.
Anyway,
ch-ldr-n's only currency is Electrum.
at around this point in time, there is another knock at the forge door.
They're not. Or...
Who is it?
You who? This is a friend of the Soren. May I borrow him for a moment?
His eyes, narrow as they kind of just, slowly slide over to the door.
Well, seems like you answered pretty much my last question of your thoughts on my brother.
I care about him. I do. And I've tried to help him. He's just rejected it at every turn.
Bellathar is just standing there, just can't go in yet.
Is that his vine not going in yet? I am outside the door waiting. Knock knock.
What do you need him for?
Soren, I need to borrow you for something.
What do you need? What do you need to borrow him for?
Oh, you'll see.
Back scratches.
He'll then boop Bellathar on the snoot.
As he casts Dispel Magic
Yeah, right.
Oh dear God.
at 9th level.
But no, he
Eh.
actually has to lean down to boop her on the
Yeah.
snoot because he's so tall.
Doesn't move. Looks at her snoot. Looks back at him. Yeah, but I want to know now.
Ah,
I mean,
but
Soren's
that
Soren's
is the
5'8", but he has to bend over to boop him in the snoot.
Yeah.
but that is the fun of finding out later. Soren, please.
We found out later that one of our closest allies was a traitor. I don't think that's very fun.
He just
God
stands.
damn.
He stands there awkwardly, like she can see his eyes just flicking between her and the door, her and the door, her and the door. And
He
then
smiles.
and then after a minute, just he starts shaking the door. Soren, please help me.
The couple thing is acting up.
Kobold thing is speaking to me.
The
kobold
kobold is
thing is-
malfunctioning. Please.
The kobold is being weird.
The kobold is making me anxious.
I'm getting
I
a
feel
bad
the anxiety
vibe.
building.
I'm getting a bad vibe.
My danger sense is going off.
Ah!
The
Anyway.
kobold is all the red flags. The kobold is all the red flags.
Anyway, the door's rattling, just like rattle, 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 rattle.
All right. Well, you can go off.
All right,
Send in the next prisoner. As Vani chuckles.
Soren chuckles too and shrugs. Goes, all right. I guess I might as well see what that's about. Hopefully this chat was enlightening for you.
It was. Seems I got a lot of things to talk about with my brother.
Now I'll tell you later. He goes to the door and opens it.
Death glares from behind.
You see Cinder is currently just standing there, just like, oh, hello, yoo-hoo, please come with me quickly, and he just kind of like grabs your hand and he like tries to pull you along. Do you have the belt
Let's
of
see.
giant strength on right now?
Yes, I do.
But
I
it's
forget
not
it. The belt of
attuned.
giant
Suplex.
Sorry.
But it's not attuned, is it?
I mean, I think it is. I have a strength of 25. That's an attunement item, right? Yeah. So,
Yes.
so yeah, he would have to get rid of something. You know what? He wasn't wearing the cloak of displacement. He was wearing the belt.
Okay.
That's what it was.
I mean,
I need
six
to-
of
I need to
one,
mark
half a
that
dozen
somewhere.
of the other. You still had your legendaries on display. He tries to tug you. Do you let him tug you, or are you just gonna kind of like resist for a minute, for like a half a second?
No,
Okay.
I don't let him tug me.
Okay. So like you see him try and tug you, and he. Have you ever seen a dog pulling on its leash? And how the dog just kind of like gets pulled back and like it's like slowly continue to walk forward, but the rest of its body just slides backwards till he's flopped on the ground. That's what he's doing. He's still walking like we have much to go. We have little to cover and much to go. I mean, scratch that, reverse it. Why aren't you moving?
Can I help you?
You are incredibly strong. That is your muscle mass. Oh. I see. It is a belt, no?
You want to see how strong I am?
I would rather not.
Smiles.
he looks to Soren and he's like, you see what I've been doing? What I've been dealing with out here?
Let's go with this. This has been the cream.
Agathar's pretty friendly. I don't know what you would have done. What you would have done to anger him.
I haven't done anything, though. All I did was want to get you in, because, you know, I thought, oh, we were friends, no?
His eyes narrow and he goes, "That's still tentative."
but it was not an outright denial, which means that we are indeed friends, no?
But it wasn't an acceptance either.
Ah, but I will take a maybe as an acceptance, no? He giggles, and then he'll
Soren after he says that, Soren just shrugs and it has a smirk on it. He just goes, "Maybe. Who knows? I don't."
I will say the both of you say in unison, I don't, as he catches on to what you're doing. He's like, ah, ha, ha, you see? This is why we get along well. And this is why I am getting you to help me with my big project.
He sighs. Is he still exhausted from his training?
Yes.
Soren. He goes, "I don't know how much I'll be able to help you out with. I'm a little bit exhausted at the moment.
I'm
But what do
sure
you
you'll
need?"
be. I'm sure you'll be a bigger help than you would ever imagine you could be. Now, come along. Don't resist, please.
What do you
Hey.
need?
Resist, please.
You will have to see, no? I cannot give you direct answers, can I?
And Soren, roll up a new character.
And Soren goes, "I guess you got a point there." And he just starts following reluctantly.
And it is, and is it not the point 94 of the point ones? He snaps a
What
couple
are you
fingers
talking
at you.
about?
Don't ask questions, no? and he just kind of like pulls you along down the hallway and into a room with him and his siblings. And I'll get back to you and what's happening there in just a moment. Vani, you've had the last two scenes.
Yep. All good.
I'll let you get back to your questions in a bit. But I am going to transition over to Agathar. Are you still in hiding?
Yep.
Or are you doing shenanigans?
No, I sent you a thing, but he's still hiding.
Okay. Rensois, while you're down at dinner with Neatal, are you wanting to talk to her about anything in particular? Or any of the other myriad of people down there?
She'd probably she'd, you know, probably the clinking of spoons and stuff, and just kind of speak up and look over to oh my god, look over to Eloise, yeah, and be like, so what do we think is the best way to approach everything?
The best way to approach the stopping of the ritual? Or-
Everything. Because unfortunately, Morrigan is not the only issue we face right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, before you guys really, called us back, we were having to deal with something, a new, adjustment in the state of Vori. She'll then kind of, like, lean over a bit more. ch-ldr-n has begun making moves inside of it. They're sending diplomats and other people that are there to talk to the king as envoys. So far, no progress has been made. Is
So in
Renslaw-
essence,
okay.
we're still at square one.
kind of, but not really. I was able to make contact with a couple associated friends inside of Ori. I think that we'll meet up with them once our situation with my wayward sister's been dealt with.
Right.
But I have narrowed down the ritual site to 2 possible locations. I'm thinking that we can just divide and conquer once we arrive in the area.
Are we sure Morrigan hasn't just planned for that too?
If she has, then, well, we have sending spells. We can just communicate with one another. The sites are not too far away from each other. I would estimate that they are at most 5-ish minutes away. But I'm sure you know a lot can happen in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can. Morrigan's done a whole lot more with a whole lot less time.
She nods. But what we know is that killing her doesn't set the ritual off. It's a choice that she has to make. So we have to find a way to stop her from making that choice. Because I don't think magic of this magnitude can be disrupted so easily. Neatal's just gonna kind of like look between Rincewa and Eloise and just kind of like lean over. Hey, Eloise, do you think I could just go with them? And she'll just look over at her, give her a raised eyebrow. Does Rincewa have anything that she wants to say? Because I can't tell. I can't tell these are purposeful
No, I'm
silences.
here.
Okay.
No, most of them, they're mostly purposeful.
Okay.
It's up to you. Are you sure you don't want to go with your team?
Well, I mean, normally, yeah, I'd like to go with them, but at the same time, like, you know, if you do meet her, then I want to be there for you, you know?
I suppose so. She'll give kind of a small derisive snort. Assuming that doesn't just make her angrier.
I mean, I'll be fine, probably. I've got methods. And then Eloise kind of chimes in. And what happens if our group is the one that finds her first and we don't have your strength? Well, I mean, I can run fast. You know I'm fast. Yeah, but are you clear 5 minutes of terrain in one fast? No. I mean, not unless you, give me a potion of speed? Those are for reserves. She sighs. You can comfort Rensois after, if they are the ones who meet her. Unless Rensois thinks that they could really use your help. She looks to Rensois. Neatal gives her puppy dog eyes.
Tell you what, we'll take Neatal, and you can take the travelers.
Eloise just kind of she can't look at them because they aren't there at the moment. But she looks back over to Rensois and she's like, "Are you sure we can? Are you sure that they're okay?"
To be fair, they're travelers. They're going to go with whichever one of us they feel like going with. Let's be honest.
She nods.
We can attempt to convince them to go somewhere.
All right, but I think that Amalia should maybe stay in the cart. We don't want her getting distracted. There's a small smash cut to Amalia as she chases a fly around the cart. Skittering along the walls, up on the ceiling, following it, and then pouncing on it before gobbling it up. Neatal, in the meantime, just breathes a sigh of relief. Good. Awesome. Then yeah, I will help.
Sounds like a plan.
Eloise nods. Hopefully, whenever one of us finds her, we can maybe help her see reason. If not, then she kind of pauses for a long while before steeling herself. I'll do what I must. To which, I mean, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Just promise me you'll stay safe.
She nods. I'm pretty safe. Me and the rest of them are. At any rate, if the first two sites aren't where she is, then we can always reconvene at the third site that there's a semi-possibility of there being. If I had to put the chances, I would say 40-40 for the first two sites, 20 for the last one. What was that?
She just kind of like sighs, just like, eh. I feel like anything that would be obvious is a decoy.
She shrugs.
She's planned this for too long for anything to be obvious.
She shrugs. Well, if that's the case, then,
Although,
well, not much we can do about it now.
well, I guess the question would be, she's planned this for years, but did she ever actually plan for anyone to know about those plans to even be able to stop her? That may be our one lucky break.
It's just lucky a break
Is her
what we're gonna
confidence
get.
in her is her own confidence in her own independence, followed by the monkey wrench in that plan that we all threw into it.
She nods. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. And then, with that, unless you have anything else you'd like to say or do, I will scene transition.
No,
You're good?
I'm done. Yeah.
Alright. Soren, inside of the room where you're with the trio of travelers, Cinder kind of like pulls you in. The door is shut behind you by Ember, and he says, "Okay. So, you know how everyone is being down in the dumps, no?
Uh, well, kind of, I mean, I'm kind of coming out of it.
Aye, you are, but others may not be. So, what we were thinking," Ash then chimes in. "What he was thinking," he cringes. "What we were thinking is that maybe we could put on a little dinner show for all the people, no?"
Soren just kind of like looks at him and goes, "All right, why are you asking me about this?"
Because you know your group better than other people like us, no? So you would know, what kind of show to put on.
He's just kind of like eyes are wide open, shaking his head like he just got hit by something, and he just goes, "I was not expecting this."
No one ever expects the random dinner time show.
I, I, I haven't really. You could ask everyone, like, because I don't know exactly what everyone likes. I
But
don't know
that
everything,
would give away the secret, no?
but you're giving it away to me.
Because you are honorable, no? You will keep it, no?
He kind of like looks down a little bit and he goes, "Well, my concept of honor is being shaken for the last couple months, but I suppose you have a point."
It is nothing. It's harmless. No, it's gonna be great fun, super cool, lots of lights and the showingness, and maybe even a bit of cabaret. No,
Does does Soren know what cabaret means?
roll a history check based off of charisma.
All right, so
-1.
he has no proficiency in history, so it's just going to be straight wisdom. 17. Why can't I get that while training?
Well, hey, nice. You would know. Well, first of all, it's your charisma modifier, not your wisdom.
Oh, so then that would be 15.
Okay. So yeah, with a 15, hold on.
I don't know why I heard wisdom the first time.
Well, with a 15, you would know that a cabaret show. You know what a cabaret show is. Do you know what a cabaret show is above game?
I think so. It's been a while since I've heard
the
that term.
line of lady dancers with the dresses and they do like the high kicks and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's a cabaret show.
Yeah.
It's softcore whorehouse.
Yeah. So Soren's just kind of like nodding, and then he stops when they mention cabaret and holds up a hand, and he says, "Just out of curiosity, who would be the ones cabaret dancing?"
Well, I was thinking you and me, no?
he just goes, "No, I ain't dancing. I don't dance."
Oh, but why not? Your daggers say you do.
Well, I haven't been attuned to these daggers in a while, so technically right now I ain't.
Ah, but what if you were?
Why do you want me? Look, no cabaret, all right? We're not.
Because you are my best friend of this group.
He points a finger at him and goes, "Tentative."
Ah, you are my tentative, maybe, but probably yes, best friend of this group, no?
Maybe, but look. I have never cabaret danced. I would not look good in a dress.
Don't worry. It is what I'm here to do. I'm here to teach you, no?
I don't. No, I don't.
Come
No,
on,
I
it
ain't
is just a
cabaret
bunch of
dancing.
high kicks, is it not?
I don't high kick. If you want high kicks, you better ask Rensois. Judging from what I know about her so far, unless I'm wrong, you might not want to ask her that anyways.
Well, okay, look, here's my reasoning, no? So it is like this. What is more comical, more funny, more, how shall we say, ridiculous, should we say, than two guys doing a bit of a cabaret dance for a whole group of people, eh?
He just kind of like shakes his head and goes, "I don't think now's the time for this. We might need
But
like
now is
even
the
if I were
perfect time for it, because here, look at this, okay? Think of it like this. Oh, we have, you said 7 days to, until we arrive in the city-state to begin hunting your friend Morrigan? Or your former companion Morrigan, no?
he says former family actually, but
Former
I
family member,
suppose
my fault.
that's when we left. So it's been what, 3 days?
Yes, it has been 3 days.
I was asking that above game, but
Yeah.
he goes, and it's been 3 days, so there's 4 left. And right now,
Exactly. We are in what we call in the show business a emotional crest moment. We are neither in the rising tensions nor in the falling out. No, we are in the nice middle beat where we can do a bit of how shall we say ridiculousness. No. A bit of entertainment to lighten the spirits, to brighten the moods before the eventual emotional turmoil that will come with having to potentially kill a family member, no?
look, we don't have. No, I can't. I don't have the time. I have to be training. I have to keep my focus on my training. I can't be splitting it from that to do this. I appreciate where it's coming from, but I'm sorry, the answer is no.
But sorry,
If you want to go ahead and do the cabaret dancing, you feel free, but I don't expect it to land very well right now.
but sorry,
He narrows his eyes.
all work and no play makes everyone a dull person. In order to in order to sharpen a blade properly, you need more than just the whetstone and the training. You need looseness to go with your rigidity. He then puts his hands on your shoulders and just kind of like wiggles you a little bit.
Punch into cerebral plexus.
He like wiggles you a little bit, and he's like, "See, look at how stiff you are."
Immediately, like, he'll feel Sora just kind of like loosen up as he looks down, almost like he's just like realized something. And he just goes, maybe. I think you just gave me an idea. Not for cabaret. I ain't gonna be doing cabaret dancing. That's
Fine.
no.
If it doesn't have to be cabaret dancing, we could do another kind of dancing, another kind of performance. What I need is someone else who is not a traveler to participate with us, so it doesn't seem as if it is just travelers doing weird traveler shit. He says in quotation marks.
Right, but the difference between you travelers doing it and one of you travelers doing it with me is that everybody expects weird traveler shite from a traveler. They wouldn't expect that from me.
I mean, did you not dance to the samba beat with the samba queen?
That was when I had the daggers attuned. And
Ah.
that was to try and capture her. I ain't trying to capture you. From what I've heard, that's a bad idea.
I mean, it is more necessarily a bad idea to outright kill me or one of my kind, but capturing is one thing. It's part of the game, no? Oh, we could do that. You know, a bit of a dance to capture the spooky traveler, no? Would that not be fun?
He again closes his eyes and shakes his head. Look, I ain't in the right mind space for this. I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't know how much clearer I can make this to you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the thought. I appreciate the effort, but right now, before we're about to go face down an old family member, it just ain't the time. Maybe if we have the best possible outcome to this whole thing, and we're heading back, maybe then. But
I don't know.
there's only one possible outcome that'll match that.
And what outcome would that be?
Well, we convince Morrigan to stop and come back to us, basically.
But would you want her back?
He looks this traveler back and just says, I want her back with all my heart right now. Seeing her go off to do that was shattering. And I miss her. As angry as I am with her right now, I still miss her. And I don't want her to die.
Well, if you don't want her to die, then maybe instead of training a bunch of killing techniques, you could take a break, do something else, crochet. I don't know.
Well, generally, once I've expended all of my power, I sit down and meditate. That helps.
It can. But you know what would help more?
I swear to the gods, if you say cabaret dancing.
I wasn't going to say cabaret dancing.
Alright, let's hear it.
I was going to say maybe helping with telling the tale of a brave samurai warrior and his trip through multiple dimensions to, how shall we say, to stop a abominable evil.
Why just a samurai? Why not? No, why not the samurai with his family? His family who are also very combat capable.
Oh, is this what they call the cooking that we are doing right now?
Hmm.
I guess. I mean, I don't.
Come on. It is a good idea. Let's go. Let's just continue with the cooking. There's the spices. Are we going to add into this?
Well, whatever spices you add into it, I trust you. And he stands up and gets ready to leave. And he goes, "I've got some meditating to do to get a handle on my capabilities."
But sir, the show, how will it go on without its lead performer?
He just like rocks his head back and goes, "I ain't a performer right now."
Both of the girls say at the same time, "You could be."
No accent, just deadpan.
No.
Or are you talking
just-
about Miki and Hidari?
Yes, Migi and Hidari.
No, all four, all together.
All
I
four
don't
of
know
them.
why, but
right now.
You
because
could, though.
I thought you were talking about the other two travelers. Like one of them is male, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, no, all four of them at the same time. You could
Because
be.
that would, because if they were to speak without an accent, Soren would run out of that room and like screaming at the top of his lungs.
Cecil's got them all! Cecil's got them all!
No. Yeah, no. The two travelers speak up. You could be, and Migi and Hidari also speak up. You could be.
Like, when Miki and Hidari say it, he just stops at the door and his fists clench, and they can practically hear his teeth grating. And he goes, "So you went in on this too, eh?"
They both nod.
He sighs a deep sigh and just goes, "All right, fine. I'll give in."
You get the sensation of two people hugging you from either side. You gotta learn to have fun, even in dark times, Soren. Yeah, man. Gotta learn to just, like, chill, bro.
He just replies, I know. I might be onto something with," like he says this inwardly. He says, I might be onto something with my linchpin abilities."
They both nod. We know. Do you think that maybe he knows too?
I don't know. I don't care, honestly. Right now, that's the last thing on my mind.
Cinder is just standing in the middle of the room with his arms wide and spread like he's looking for a hug. Just like, eh? Eh? Eh?
Laser
Soren,
dot tears on his forehead.
no, Soren just kind of like turns around and just looks at him with an almost deathly neutral glare, and he just says, "Don't push it."
He immediately slumps. Okay. No pushing.
Give me some time to meditate, all right? I do need that.
Yes, but of course. In fact, would you like to meditate in this room with us? Oh, we will be quiet. I just need to maybe take your measurements for a few things.
You what do you need me measurements for?
Outfits.
Oh gods. he just thinks inwardly to Migi and Hidari. He just goes, "You two are gonna owe me after this."
The two of them are snickering.
I got a better idea, though. Why don't you follow me down to the training area? I feel like I need to do my meditation there.
He will give you a big thumbs up. Okay, I will follow you. Like a shadow, a ghost in the night, no?
He goes, aye, aye, and then he just leaves the room and starts
Alright.
heading towards the training area.
What's
And
your
anybody he passes, sorry,
what's your passive perception?
17.
You do not notice Cinder following you.
Okay. Well, I mean, Soren would know that he's following him, right?
You know that he's following, but it's one of those things of like the second he's like, I will follow you like a shadow, like any sounds that he was making while he was walking around, cut off immediately.
He just kind of like looks around. Is Cinder still there?
You look behind you and he's just still staying there. Yoo-hoo!
He just continues walking.
And you don't even know if he's following until you actually look behind you because there's no sound.
When he passes through the common area, does he notice any? Does he notice? Or is like anybody like looking to see them, or like looking at them? Like, can they see him?
I'd say that's a Renswa decision there because she's the only person that's in the common area, I think. Maybe Belethar, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, Belthar's probably getting talked with Vani right now, so.
Yes, which we will get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Does Renswa say anything about this guy following Soren if she can see him?
I mean, she'd probably look up at it, file it under, traveler being traveler. It goes back to her book.
Soren looks very annoyed right now.
Soren might need a. Soren, we thank you for your sacrifice.
So yeah, once he gets down into the training area, he basically like gets down into a kneel position and like folds his hands into his meditative position and begins to speak out loud to himself at first and goes, "Need to be looser." And as he does that, he begins to dig his foot into the sand as he meditates. Looser.
All right.
Twist your ankle while digging into the sand.
And while you're saying looser, you don't notice as Cinder very casually pulls out of his robes a measuring tape and just starts taking your measurements. You don't feel him either.
Gross.
He's just very casually just like it's one of those things of like unless you actively look in his direction, you don't know he's there.
And Soren's eyes are closed. He is actively trying to ignore him.
That's fine.
Right now. But basically
he's used to it.
but basically his thought process is when Cinder, I think it was, said, like, I don't remember all their names.
It
but,
is Cinder. He's the male. He's the one
when
who's talking
Cinder
the whole time.
like when Cinder said that you need to be looser, you're so like uptight and you're like so uptight and hard, you need to be looser. That basically triggered a thought in Soren's head where maybe the reason he's not having as much success as he should is because he's viewing the sand as earth, and earth is generally like linked in his mind with rock. So now he's trying to to basically view it as a looser substance as he continues to meditate, hoping that may lead to a breakthrough somewhere.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom check at advantage.
Wisdom check at advantage. 19.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. While you're sitting there meditating, you
He's just standing there, meditating.
Meditatingly.
And as you're kind of like sitting there, just kind of like meditating, you begin to get a sense of the sand around you. And you can almost feel it just kind of like moving with you. And even more strangely, there seems to be a large collection of sand, question mark, moving just behind you.
Also, deep in your meditation, you notice that there's a giant, annoying piece of garbage taking your measurements.
Would you like to open your eyes and look in the direction?
You said it's behind, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's kneeling down, so he's gonna have to contort to see behind him.
All
But
you
he
see
does.
is- You do so?
Sorry. Yeah, he's gonna open his eye and like try to like angle his head behind him.
You see Cinder there, taking your measurements. He gives you a wave.
So he felt a small. You said he felt a small like a bit of the sand rising, right?
No, you felt what seemed to be like a large clump of it that was already moving.
Oh, okay.
Sand sense.
So he's going to open up his senses to that again and concentrate on it and see if he can't like put an idea to what it might be.
Okay.
Can he still not hear Cinder walking around him?
No, you can't. Even on the
He goes-
sand, there's no sound.
He goes, "Hey, could you do me a favor and whatever you're doing to mute your sound, could you turn that off for a minute?"
Oh, sure. I can be loud again. And all of a sudden, the crunching of sand returns. He starts moving around again.
Now he is concentrating on that again. Is there a correlation between where the sand is coming from and where I feel it moving?
You feel that large clump move wherever Cinder moves.
Okay, you say a large clump of sand moving.
Roll another wisdom check at advantage.
At advantage?
Yep.
19.
Another 19.
Another 19. Now that you're focusing on it, you see that it's not just it's weird feeling. Like, you feel it there, but there's no inherent connection that makes you think you could control it. But more along the lines of, like, it's humanoid shaped. And it's mimicking Cinder's gestures and movements from what you can tell while your eyes are closed. Like, you feel this mass of sand move to the left, and you hear him crunching in the sand as he moves to the left to take a few more measurements.
He is made of sand. Yeah, he's going to continue allowing it to happen, and he's going to continue concentrating on that. And no. I was thinking like he was going to try and like grab some of it and pull it, but that's probably an incredibly bad idea.
Think of it more like even if you wanted to, you could not.
Yeah, it's more he just like feels it there.
Yes. What you feel is a inherent connection between the sand around you and Cinder himself.
Did Belethar follow them down?
Belthor's being yapped at by Vani right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's just going to let Cinder do his thing and continue to concentrate on this, trying to understand the significance of it.
If you would like, you could ask him.
He's going to, and he goes, Cinder, this might be a weird sounding question, but are you made of sand?
Maybe. Probably. Who's to say? But perhaps not in the way you would think, no? How did you know?
He just looks at Cinder in the eye and says, because I was given a hint by somebody about maybe 5 minutes ago that I should loosen myself up.
Ah.
And I applied that. I was having a lot of failure down here, but I applied that to this material here in this room. And now that I'm doing that, I feel a cinder-sized stack of sand walking around me.
He snickers, just like, well, why don't you stand up and try to punch me, no?
His eyes narrow and he just says, now, I was just told by you that doing that's a very bad idea.
I said attempting to kill, not strike or spar with or harm unintentionally, but I mean attempting to kill, no? Which I doubt you would be wanting to kill little old me with just your fist, no?
He stands up and goes, all right. And he cracks his knuckles and he takes a swing.
I have a question. Are your fists considered magical?
I do not think so.
Okay. Then your fist literally, you collide with his chest and you feel it clump inwards as you push into sand. And then as you
What?
withdraw your fist, you see this sand recoalesce back into him again.
Does it like change color or is it just like
It shifts
like
back. It shifts back into whatever clothing or whatever, skin or flesh or bone or sinew there were beneath it. Like basically, it felt like you punched into a sand dummy, and then it just back to normal.
he just looks at Cinder and says, what are you?
Ah, what am I? I am a traveler. My name is Cinder. I am the linchpin of the Archmage of Illusions, no? But I was namely an adventurer before all of this. And in my travels, we happened to be exploring some home turf, no? Some of these puzzle dungeons and stuff. And in one of these dungeons, we found a unique, how shall we say, a bag of beans. And from these beans sprouted a tree with many colorful fruits and vegetables upon it. And one that I ate, let me do this now. And he kind of like puts his arms outwards, and as he wiggles one limb into the other, you see it shift from normal hand and flesh to sand all the way down his body before it goes back to being normal again on the other end.
At Raimier, he stole your do!
I'm gonna kill him.
I'll kill him!
Eh? Pretty cool, no?
Thorn's going to attempt to like put his hand like slowly down through the traveler's arm.
I mean, when you like put your hand on him, like it doesn't go through him. It's solid. And he says, I can also choose when I do it.
He's made of oobleck. So Sora just kind of nods and just goes, "Very interesting."
Ah, yes. Very no.
Well, that doesn't seem very illusion-y. It seems more transmutation-y.
Ah, yes, I know.
Maybe we can be friends for a little bit.
You mean it?
No. It is a ploy to let your guard down.
Got me.
But I still need to learn more about you first. In the meantime, I've got more to ponder upon. You can continue doing what you're doing if you want, though.
Oh,
He
all
gets back down and...
of your measurements are done.
Oh, all right.
Also, now that
And
you're
he-
standing, he flips out the measuring tape again. Takes your height, leg length, thigh length, wraps it around your waist, checks. Alright, now I'm done. Makes it disappear.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to meditating then. I've got some more connections to make, I think.
Ah, but of course. And I will go upstairs to my siblings and we will work on your outfit. Speaking of, what color would you say looks best on you?
Hmm.
Between purple, green, blue, or grey?
You know what? Let's go green. It's the color of my eyes.
Gives you a thumbs up. Alrighty then. And off we go.
Congratulations, you're getting a custom cursed item.
He'll start making his way back up the stairs.
And Soren gets back down into kneeling position and continues to ponder on what he's learned.
When you kind of kneel down and start getting ready, you do feel the sand shift a little bit in front of you. With like it's very linear motions that are in front of you. They're not very long. They're not very long. They're very, very short and precise. It's 2 vertical and then 2 horizontal.
2 vertical, then 2. I don't understand.
Do you look to see what's going on?
Yes, the wisdom savers are something else, but
Okay.
yeah, he's gonna look and see.
All right. There are lines drawn in the sand that correlate what look to be a small grid, and then you see on the top right-hand corner a little circle appear in one of the corners, and then near that, the letter it just said that appears right next to it. It just says "Hi." Game.
Soren
So-
will just
There's tic-tac-toe in front of you.
yeah. Soren just smiles and he nods, and he'll unfold his hands and then play tic-tac-toe with Agathar.
Mhm.
You then hear
Somewhere in the room.
You hear a brief clatter upon the stairs as Cinder rushes back down. Oh, speaking of, Sorin,
Yes,
no telling people about that, okay?
of course. My
You see-
my lips are sealed.
You see his mask is ever so slightly askew. and he just gives you a thumbs up. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, goodbye. And just back up the stairs.
Then-
In the sand, written in it, it's just, I think you would look good in a dress. Smiley face.
Aggie hitting him with the emote. Alright.
Soren is going to write in the sand, even though he knows Agathar could probably hear them. He's going to write in the sand, with or without the collar.
There's a long pause before it just says yes.
Porque no los dos.
As long as you're the one wearing the dress.
Oh boy. And with that, Vani, you have Belethar with you for your interrogation.
Yeah.
Alright. Same questions as the last group. From what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are?
Well, very good at sneaking, and I make a lot of cool stuff like, Belle and Anna. And I'd like to think I'm loyal and fiercely defensive of the people that I love. My weakness, I get hit a lot, which is not good. I've been better about it, but I get hit a lot. So I guess my weakness would be durability, but I am working on not getting seen in the first place, so I guess that counteracts it.
Oh. Vani makes a few marks on the piece of wood. Alright. In your thoughts, what do you think the strengths and weaknesses of the rest of your party are?
Well, Thorin is pretty well rounded. He has ranged capabilities that are powerful, and if you get in close, you're gonna pay for it. So maybe magical resistances, like mental. He's pretty good with. I mean, he's unfortunately been charmed a couple of times, but that wasn't really his fault. There's someone named Bethany who, if she knows your full name, she can kind of control you. So that happened to him a couple of times. I think that only happened once, and maybe a couple, but it was a while ago. So I would probably say magical resistances.
Uh-huh. Alright. Now what about Renswaw?
I would probably say ranged. She has a lot of. She can close the distance pretty well, but if anything, if she can't get to something high up, then she kind of has no answer for it. So range, I would say.
And strengths?
Well, she's super cool. She's super nice. She is honestly, well, besides the close combat capabilities, and she can throw out some uh debuffs. Like I think the word is. She's really good at she can work on her chess game a little bit better, but she's pretty all right. Don't put that under weakness. Um, but she's very strong, very sweet, very headstrong. That's why we all got so mad when she got hurt. Because normally she's the one defending us, and now we got to be that for her. So probably, honestly, whatever Soren said about Renswaw's strengths and weaknesses, I think is pretty on the nose.
You were listening.
I wasn't.
Vani eyes Belethar.
Technically, she's not lying.
She's not lying. I mean, I was just standing on the doors are silent proof, so or they're silented, so I couldn't hear anything in the room if I wanted to. It just means that we know our abilities that well. We kind of all know what we're capable of.
Okay. Very shorthand. Written notes. And what about my brother?
There is a long pause, like she's kind of thinking, maybe trying to access some stuff.
Uh,
Um,
mentally, Father help, Father help, Father help.
she is kind of, yeah. She's. I think she is relaying these questions to Agathar, and he is like kind of not speaking through her, but like, oh yeah, tell her this, tell her that. So she waits for a moment and then looks up at him. Your brother is a very stubborn, doesn't really listen very well, is kind of a jerk, but it's weirdly with love for the most part. But he hurt me really bad, and I haven't really forgiven him yet for it. I admittedly did something that he wasn't a fan of, but I resurrected a dragon because we found out he was a dad of a lot of kids. So I didn't tell him I was going to do that because I knew he would try to stop me.
You just see Vani stop writing. Scribbles a few more things. No.
I don't really
I
plan on
guess
doing that again.
I guess I will have to punch my brother in the face.
Yeah. I don't plan on doing that again. She looks at her arms that are transparent. I did pay for it, but when I needed him the most, he left, really without telling anybody. He mentioned it to Soren, but he really didn't go into detail. And after like a week, he came back acting like nothing happened. So I haven't really forgiven him. It still really hurt. So I'm not on great terms with Phelan, if I'm going to be honest, but I'm not shutting him out. He's still my brother, so it's just stuff that we have to work on, I think.
Mm-hmm. So those are your thoughts on him.
Mhm.
And his combat capability, his strengths and weaknesses there.
He was mostly spell focused. He could occasionally throw some hands, but that wasn't his specialty. He was mostly just a spellcaster. He would throw in some higher level cleric spells. He would do healing, but he was tough to take down. But I would say weakness would be overall combat effectiveness. If he had to go hand to hand or into scraps with someone, it wouldn't go that well. It's been a bit since we've seen him in action, so it's hard to keep track. But strengths would be his spellcasting and his abilities to keep bringing us up. Weaknesses, I would say, single. When if he needs to get into combat, it's hard.
So he's not the combat person of the group.
Now that would either be.
There's always got to be that one person, I suppose.
Well, technically, we have honestly, 2, sometimes 3.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Soren and Renswall are definitely our combat types, and depending on the situation, I could step into, if I have to hit and run, or if I hit to hit something from afar. Um, so it's I don't, I'm not that durable, so I try not to. Lately, I try not to. Thinks about the Praetorian fight.
Hmm. If you are offered a piece of a weapon or armor, you know, or even a trinket, attunement or not attunement, what do you prefer?
If it's a weapon, I would have to ask my weapon to see if they would absorb it, but that's up to them. Other than that, it would probably be non-attunement.
Absorb weapon?
Oh, the magic. Oh, Agabel will pull out a Veronica and kind of motion like this is a sentient weapon as well, like Miki and Hidari.
The scythe,
Vaniel.
the light scythe is currently dormant.
A stick.
Uh,
You don't need
Should
to.
be
You don't
that
need to
hard.
say if it's a stick or not. Vani, I'll give you a Smith Tools check
Uh,
at advantage because of your profession.
Smith tools.
ooh,
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
everything about Veronica.
Okay. So
Who made this weapon?
The gamer lean.
Hey, I know, we all heard that.
3.
okay, so it's like this. You know that the weapon in his hands is a light scythe. It's basically like a sunblade, but it's a scythe instead. You would also note that this particular one is you basically know all the magical details about it. You know that it's sentient. You also know that it is good aligned, and that it is also currently at odds with Belethar. You sense that there is a bit of dissonance between the two of them, as if this
Doesn't-
person is not attuned to it.
Hmm.
In fact, you
Doesn't.
know for sure this person's not attuned to it.
Seems to not like you very much. Doesn't seem to be attuned to you.
uh, Immediately starts sweating. We're working on it. I um said something to her which made her upset. Uh, so I
What?
think she's mad at me.
With that nat
Mind if
20,
I take a look?
with that nat 20, Vani, you can tell that the particular vibe this weapon is giving off is one of utter fury.
Right. Mind if I take a look at it?
Uh, sure. Sure. She'll slowly hand her off.
Doesn't seem to like you very much.
Whenever it
One.
is removed from Belathar's hands, or Agathar's hands in this case, you feel the anger, like, not vanish all the way, but basically, like, it basically goes from an 8 to a 3 on, like, the level of anger scale. And
It really doesn't like you.
You hear a voice enter your mind. What do you require of me, Smith?
Feisty one.
Feisty? I am Veronica Artorius Sawyer, the greatest paladin and cleanser of evil that there ever was. Reduced to a weapon right now, but we will make do with what we have. And I am not
Alright.
simply feisty.
Seems like it. And Vani will start inspecting the weapon to try to find the sigil of her signature.
Agabel looks really nervous.
As you kind of like flip it around and rotate it over, you see that there is a smith symbol on it. A smith symbol reading. Let me find it. It is EM written inside of a large fist with a sun motif behind it.
Oh, I can't remember. Notes.
If you would like, you can make a history check on this sigil.
Looking through notes. Yep. I lost those notes. You said history?
Yes, history at advantage.
Oh,
10. You would know at a minimum that this is from Vuori. Like, it's one of those things of, like, you feel like you should know this smith symbol, but you can't really put it to words. You can't really remember for sure. Not at, like, a glance, but you know that this weapon was at least made in Vuori specifically.
That fist sound. Is it the same sigil as the one on? I'm forgetting which sword it is. Megan and Hadari.
No. Different symbol.
All right, you said fist, and
like I said, EM inside of a fist with a sun around it.
All right. Seeing that, Svani rolls her eyes up. Can't place it. Somewhere in Rory.
Oh, also with the natural 20, you would know that this weapon is roughly 200-ish years old.
Yeah, about 200, give or take a year or two. Probably ask some of my contacts. It's
Pick
gonna
up
bug me. She is spicy. I can see why she doesn't like you. I don't know what you said. What did he say that pissed you off?
we really don't need to go into this.
It isn't what it said, it's what it did. It's what it's supposed to do. That I am not in agreement with, but I have been promised the destruction of a variety of undead abominations within the necropolis, and that is one of the few reasons that I have not sought fit to sear the flesh from this thing's bones!
Vani just blinks. Looks up at Belethar. Down to the sword. Back to Belethar.
Finger taps.
Boop.
Fuck.
Oh, divine sense. Yeah, there's an undead
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah.
Huh.
In fact, as you kind of have this divine wave flow outwards, you sense there is an undead in front of you. You also don't smell like the distinctive stench of evil undead, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that when it comes to undead specifically, whoever made them typically is the person that the magic around them aligns with, unless they're
They're
naturally
smelly.
unless they're naturally occurring undead, in which case they are typically evil.
Belethar right now just being like, why are you looking at me that way? Please stop looking at me that way.
Vani, your eyes. They have a strange hunger to them.
And
right.
and it's at this point in time, Veronica's like, "Oh, so you see too. I knew that I liked you, although you keep calling me feisty. You know why now, don't you? I was meant to destroy these abominations, not be
In the middle-
held by them like a fucking trinket."
And in the middle of that speech, Veronica just gets hit with a hammer. Dong.
The fuck?
You! How dare you mar my perfect form with a smith's hammer?
Chunk.
What you doing?
Stop it! If you hit me one more time, I will have no choice but to take... Make a charisma save.
Guess what?
Worth
I'm
it.
extremely well at those.
Fuck.
21.
Damn.
Okay. You feel her attempt to take over your body and try and subsume control of it, but you resist because you're used to weapons trying this shit, especially sentient ones. You're like, yeah, that's a thing that you're trying to do.
Don't make me put you in the fire.
Hey, Vani, what are you doing?
You wouldn't dare.
She's just being feisty at the moment. Trust. Don't worry.
Can I have her back?
Sure.
And
At this
Yeah,
point
sure.
in time,
Now-
at this point in time, I would rather take the abomination's hands than your disrespectful tone.
You aren't
I
the
think she wants
first.
to come back to you.
You aren't the first sentient weapon to try that. Although I would advise to not do that again.
Do you give her
Ever.
back?
Yes.
Okay. You put her back in Belathar's hands.
And she takes her, just thanks.
Vani's
Sorry.
still smiling, looks up at Belthar. That's stealth necromancer.
Bellathar is going to whisper. Sorry, Bellathar is going to hear a whispering in her mind. Now smack her.
I'm gonna do a wisdom save for Belle because Belle really wants Veronica to like her.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't set the turn.
Uh,
I think.
if you want, you know what? How about I roll persuasion?
Okay.
All right. Veronica is going to make a persuasion check. She has a pretty good persuasion bonus.
Yeah. She's a paladin.
That's above a 17. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Belle really wants to like her, so she just stares at Vani for a minute, sorry, and then just like fucking bops her in the leg and then tries to run away.
Good.
It's
Good. Vengeance has been had. Vengeance is mine. Mine.
door opens, she runs out, door closes.
I don't know if hold person will work on Belethar.
No, it wouldn't.
It won't. She's undead.
She's not a humanoid.
You need hold monster, bitch.
You know, the door is closed. Heat metal is a spell.
she opened the door. She's running out.
Cal?
Actually, do you cast heat metal?
Yeah, sure. Heat metal on Veronica.
Okay. Oh fuck.
Belle needs to make a con save to not drop her.
Yeah, she will, but fuck it. Vani needs to make a charisma save.
Oh.
Boop.
Oh no.
What's your safety C?
Uh,
Oh wait,
Actually,
summoner's safety C. That does pass. His Agathar's safety C is 15.
PvP.
Sure, she'll make a con save. No.
Oh no, she drops Veronica. She drops her, scrambles to pick her back up, and she's like, ow, 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 ow. Vani, roll your 2d8 fire damage, please.
yeah. For some reason, it's on my. Yeah, there it is.
And
Just like,
Belethar
the
dies.
pain! The pain!
Okay.
14! Alright, Bellator,
It's only at
Bella-
it's only at second level. It's not that much.
Bellator
And
takes
Belethar
14
dies.
damage. Nah, she's fine. Bellator takes 14 damage as her hands begin to just kind of like just melt a little bit.
Vani won't keep it up for long.
Hmm.
And shouts down the hallway, "Tell Agathar next time he tries to pull that stunt with me, I'm using his horns as an ingredient for his little project."
Okay.
Just out of the darkness from behind Vani, both Soren and Soifang appear.
Oh, don't worry, Vani.
We would recommend you change your mind.
We would recommend you change your mind. Veronica is going to pat Bellathar a little bit. I see what you did there. You took one for the team, for both of us, and you let that wretched Smith have it. You gave them the what for? You have downgraded from abomination to thing.
Don't you mean upgraded?
Sorry, you have upgraded from abomination to thing.
Yay!
I apologize for your hands.
Thank you.
Please hold.
Father will. Okay.
And oh shit, I forgot. Belle feels like radiant light erupts from it erupts from within, and nothing changes. And then Veronica's like, "Oh yeah, you're undead."
Oh well.
I really appreciate the thought. Father will, I'll be fine. I think I'm gonna give you back to him. I think that's probably good for you.
No.
That
You will maintain your grip upon me. You have shown yourself to be of merit.
Bella's now attained attunement slots.
yes, ma'am.
Good girl. And there's like the and there's like a phantom pat on the head. But you will not
She
attune to me.
immediately
yet.
feels better. that's okay. It never was part of the plan, is my understanding. But
Yes.
now, now maybe I have a goal.
Perhaps we will see. Thing.
Yay! she runs. She runs the. She runs. No, I
Father,
think
my hands, they're melted.
here's. Yeah, I think she's gonna go to the stadium, the arena.
Father, my hands are melted. Please help.
brother, I've been injured.
Brother, the main rabbit lady.
Brother, I have a boo-boo.
But Veronica likes me now. I'm no longer an abomination. Hooray!
Yeah.
I mean, she burned the crap out of my hands.
I took one for the team.
Brother, I deserve 2 bows now. You'd never said anything about friendly fire.
I think Soren and Agatha are like 5 games deep in tic-tac-toe now. And they're just all over the place with like past scribbles, one of which is like
It's sand.
yeah. We're doing it in the sand.
Yeah, when you're done, just rub it out.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, they want to keep track of who's won what game.
Exact. Well,
Keep
then
a
we
tally.
we could keep a tally.
Soren
That's fine.
would probably be trying to erase it by like putting his hand down and just like
Yeah.
willing the sand to just like go even.
Yeah,
Like he'd be trying
yeah.
it. He'd be trying it, but probably not succeeding.
Actually, roll a wisdom with advantage.
With
Wisdom
small
check.
manipulation?
Wisdom with advantage, 18.
I will say that you can do a mold earth cantrip style, just whoosh, and you can manipulate sand like that.
And then he's going to like, well, he's not gonna know when Agathar's not looking, but like when when it's his turn, while he's like making his move, he's going to like subtly manipulate one of the spots to like in his favor, with like a smirk on his face.
You see,
Wisdom-based
Playing it
sleight
like
of
that,
hand.
huh?
Wisdom-based sleight of hand for Soren versus perception from Agathar.
Wisdom-based sleight of hand. So that's going to be so this is going to be a +3. I'm just going to roll a d20. So 9.
his
All
passive is 12.
Yeah, no, you're not getting around that. He notices.
You do it, and then there's a moment, and then in the sand there's a surprised emoji, and then below that it's like Keter.
he puts his hand back and corrects it.
A couple of moments of silence in the sand. Good. I was gonna give you a massage when I figured out my ability when this was over. I'd get you nice and loose. And then there's a couple of beats of silence. Sorry, that sounded wrong.
And then you see a winking smiley face get drawn anyway.
Or was it?
Mixed singles. Very
He,
mixed
like-
signal.
Like Soren puts his hand into the sand, it just creates like a Boris Vallejo image of himself. No, he doesn't do that.
And you hear the pitter patter of Belle running downstairs, and just being like, "Father, my hands! Ah, my leg!" And you then hear the pitter patter of larger feet as Cinder makes his way back down. Yoo-hoo! Soren, are you done yet?
He's gonna look back at Cinder and go, I ain't sure yet, and he's just gonna kind of like just sit there and wait for, basically subtly telling Agathar he's gotta go.
You see the current game that we were playing. I think you had like an X on the top right corner, so he just puts an O next to the X, then an X, and then an O.
And then he's just gonna like put it. He's just gonna put his hand on there and just replace everything. What was Soren? Was he circles or square? Or circles or X's?
He was X's.
He just like every single one of the slots shifts to X's with like lines through everything, and he gets up and leaves.
Hell yeah.
Good moment. And with that, Cinder takes you upstairs. Soren says, "Okay. So, we are almost ready. We need to do what is called a dress rehearsal. No?
All right, but I probably should have asked you to take me measurements later. Which room are we in right now?
You two are making your way back upstairs.
He goes. Hey, give me 1 second. He's gonna drop into his room, and then come out with a particular choker in his hand.
Cinder kind of like cocks ahead at it and goes, "What is that?"
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, okay. And he'll lead you into his room. And
On
just
the way,
go,
he just cut. It's on the way. Soren just kind of offhandedly goes, "Well, this also gives me an opportunity to see if this fits other me. If this outfit fits other me.
What?
Oh, you'll see."
God. What's your passive?
17.
Oh, fucking weird.
Everyone here is so
17.
weird.
and they say I am weird.
Oh yeah. And they say us travelers are weirdos. And the two of you enter his room, and he closes the door behind you, and he presents to you a green outfit of samurai attire with a it looks like traditional samurai attire with a purple hat that's like a straw hat, but it's purple. And he's like, what do you think?
He then pockets his the choker, and he goes, "It looks good."
Yes. Now, what was the Joker thing about?
Oh, well, he goes to lock the door, and then just basically turns to face away from the traveler and puts the choker on and activates it.
All right. Your new outfit, because you are a smart person, does take into account your growth, and it's a bit more form fitting, one might say, but it's not like super tight or like unmanageable. It's just like, okay, it's nice.
And he's gonna like turn around to face the traveler and go, "So would you say that also fits this figure?"
You see his eyes go wide for a second, and then he just kind of like narrows them, and he strokes his chin. Well, I am somewhat sure it's good, but it might need a bit of adjustment. Do you mind if I take more measurements?
Well, I might not even wear it because, well, you said it was going to be a dress, which is why I grabbed this thing, and he points at the choker.
Ah, then I will make you a samurai-style dress, no?
He thinks about it for a second and goes, "That sounds like a plan."
It is honestly less fabric to work with, no? And he'll pull out his measuring his measuring tape, and he'll ask if you will allow him to measure you.
He's still a bit reluctant to have this traveler this close to him, but he's going to allow him to do it.
All right. He is nothing but professional. He's just like, okay, get that measurement, get this measurement, get that measurement. Okay, we're good. All right, done. Flips it back up. Okay. Ember, Ash, let's get to work. And Ember just kind of like peers the guy aside. Oh, he's going to look. Is it he or she now?
Yeah, still he.
Okay, he's going to look so cute in the dress. To which Ash says, "Ah, yes. Quite adorable indeed, no? A question. Do you want your chest to be more form-fitting or more loose?"
Probably loose. It was a bit constricting in Mirzai.
She gives you a thumbs up. All right then. And do you want us to adjust that outfit while we are here too?
That would probably be a good idea, right?
They both nod, and then Cinder's like, "Yes." And then he realizes that he is now the only dude in a room full of ladies, and he's like, "Ah, yes. Then I shall put myself in the corner." And he just turns and just thunk head in the corner. Tell me when you're done. And the three of you get to work on recreating a new outfit. And
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just gotta after he does that, Sora's just gonna get a cheeky grin and then lean over to whisper to one of the sisters, "Let's never tell him we're done."
the both of them look to each other and they give you like a little with like a little finger waggle before they nod. And they snicker. You can see Cinder slumping in the corner. Just like, "Oh no, I know what's going on. I'm never getting out of this corner now." And with that all having been said and done, I will have that performance happen next week. In the meantime, it's been a few days. I will do as the group just seems to kind of like get a bit more knowledgeable of each other, of kind of like generally what's going on, and maybe having their spirits lifted a little bit more. We're going to cut away to a particular individual that has been here, but maybe not had time just yet.
More hanging out in the attic space. They'll never expect it. Me.
You'll
They-
take me right to where I need to go.
They are delivering me here.
Oh god, he's wearing the choker again.
Oh no.
Everything is coming up, Morrigan.
All right. Give me just a second to nab some music. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
So, interrogation time,
Yeah.
It's the most words you've said ever.
Good
I
job. That
know.
was good job. That was good.
Proud of you.
Okay, now do it again.
I'll think about it.
I was like, I was just waiting. Is like, when you gonna ask about Maury? What are her weaknesses?
At this point, Vani's like, I don't know if she's gonna live or die. I don't know.
Oh, this is more to prepare them for me.
Yeah, and I could ask that. Probably next time.
You do what you want.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just lonely over here.
yeah.
Oh,
And
geez.
whose fault is that?
Yours for
Well,
not being
technically,
better
I
at telling me to not kill things.
know, right?
I
Maybe be
don't
open
know.
for it, forehead.
I don't know how we could have been clearer.
I think we said some pretty good things about not doing it.
I don't know. Valen is still on Maury's corner. Should kill everything.
Valen's always in a corner. I don't know what you're talking about.
Valen is gonna find himself inside the doggy corner, the corner of shame, here in a little bit.
He has a reserved spot in the corner of shame.
Well, currently looks like a traveler is in that corner. So
The good thing is the crowd is in here.
Why am I in the corner of shame?
I didn't do anything.
I did
You're
nothing
traveling.
wrong. Please, help.
Be the gentleman.
It's like I'm back home with my wife again. Anyway. So, Morrigan, what are you doing? Where's the
I
scene
believe
find Morrigan?
it is likely dark at the moment.
You
As
don't
she
say.
is. Yeah, it's nighttime. How'd that be? Rest. Somewhere out of the way in the wilderness. By some small lantern light. She is leaned up against a tree. Her fingers delicately at work at something. A sort of amber bauble that she is carving grooves into and inlaying some kind of silver or gold wire, humming some form of incantation. A sort of sing-songy verse. The strange witchcraft coming to a sort of head as the bauble is completed and hums to life. And as she clutches it, it seems to burn as it draws just like an after image of herself towards it as she clutches it as tightly as she can before something is drawn from her into the bauble as she drops it and doubles over onto the ground and retches. This sort of like ichorous black slime. She slumps onto her side, staring up at the sky. Her cheeks filthy and her hair ratty and greased. Her glasses askew as she wipes some of this bloody black slime from her lips. Almost there. So close now. She lays there for what seems like an hour before she forces herself to rise, clutching the bauble and placing it on a string around her neck. With a grit in her teeth, she shifts, becoming this giant corvin bird, and with a flap, leaving an extinguished flame behind her and vanishing into the blackened sky. She soars above Veori.
Alright. And that's where we will end session for the night. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
Maintain silence. It makes him uncomfortable.
Switch back.
It makes every DM uncomfortable, not just him.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It not only makes me uncomfortable, it also makes me think that maybe everyone has dropped out and my internet died.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, please. No, please.
Especially when there's like lulls. Especially when there's like lulls in conversations. It's just like, is somebody gonna pick it up? Somebody do something.
Just
So-
straight
so-
up, any roleplay involving Rinsois, this is like the minute-long pauses before responses.
It's not always his fault.
It's
I don't
true.
know what you're talking
About.
Anyway.
about.
So as we sign off into the post stream, remember everyone that you can catch us live at twitch.tv/DeathlyShad every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. CST for Rains of Vitrium Live. And that if you're watching this on the YouTubes, then you must also realize that our VODs are posted up at 5:30 p.m. CST the very next day on Wednesday. Remember, if you pop in the stream early, you get to you get to chat with us for the post-stream and pre-stream. You know, the before and after the stream. But till then, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and all other good jazz as we all say goodbye to each other. Agathar, say goodbye to the people.
Picking up bad habits like it's going out of style.
Hell yeah. Morrigan, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, peoples.
Rensois, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Soren, say goodbye to the people.
I don't use this choker very much, so I hope you all enjoy this.
What?
And Vani, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, everyone.
Vani
Who
did
knows
something!
that was a
Vani did
Who knows if
something!
that was a threat or a promise?
So much of it.
Agathar, watch your horns.
Anyway,
Hey, you have to sleep.
and
Today's
and from all of us to all of you, have a good day. Bye-bye as we go to the post-stream.
tonight's episode will be called